And actually, I did want to read a few lines that for me like really stood out, because like, okay, so week 11 is technically recovering a sense of autonomy, and I think it was really difficult for me to read, but like not difficult in the way where I was want to try to ignore it. It was more like, wow, this is so truth and I need to accept it. And it's just sentences that I highlighted, and I'm just gonna read it out loud because it's just a reminder for me or for you. Maybe we all need to hear it. But for example, I must experiment with what works for me. And the market may be rotten even when the work is great. I cannot control these factors. Letting go of control and letting go of the idea that my life has to be a certain way. Like, I have to experiment with my life in order to know what works and doesn't work for me. And it might not work for someone, but it might work for me, and vice versa. And accept that it's okay that my life is a bit different. And then, yeah, I must learn that as an artist, my credibility lies with me, God, and my work. In other words, if I have a poem to write, I need to write that poem, whether it will sell or not. Basically, leaning more into that expression. It's not about success, it's about expression. I mean, we chose to be artists for a reason, and my reason is because I want to feel things and I want to feel them fully. And every time that I stop doing arts is because I'm trying to avoid feeling something. And actually, that is very true. And I don't want to lean into that feeling. So that's that. And then creativity is its own reward. For me, that sentence, I don't know, spoke to me so much because it's true. Being creative is expression. Being creative and leaning more into it is gonna bring you somewhere, because you're gonna feel different, and because you're like moving things inside of you, moving things outside of you, and that's beautiful. So creativity itself is the reward. The journey is the reward. Yeah. And then to a large degree my life is my art. I might frizz my hair or wear weird clothes. I might spend too much money on perfume in a pretty blue bottle, even though the perfume stinks because the bottle lets me write about Paris in the 30s. Yeah, I might be fucking weird for the rest of my life and confusing to many people, but maybe that's what I need to lean into. And again, maybe I don't need to make sense to other people. Maybe I need to make sense to myself. Yeah. And as an artist, I write whether I think it's any good or not. I shoot movies other people might hate. I sketch bad sketches to say I was in this room. I was happy. It was May, and I was meeting somebody I wanted to meet. It's about the experience, and it's about the journey, and it's about letting it in and not being ashamed of it. Like, we are ourselves, and that's beautiful. And if we're authentic, that's even more beautiful. So like, let it in. And yes, as an artist, my self-respect comes from doing the work, one performance at a time. So if I don't create, I get crabby. True. The more I nurture my artist child, the more adult I am able to appear. Ignoring my artist means depression. Yes. And wait, did I skip a page? No. There's a connection between self-nurturing and self-respect. If I allow myself to be bullied and cowed by other people's urges for me to be more normal or more nice, I sell myself out. They may like me better, feel more comfortable with me, with my more conventional appearance or behavior, but I will hate myself. Hating myself, I may lash out at myself and others. And that's what the core of this was for me, like authenticity. Like, the more we let ourselves be who we are, the less judgmental we are, the less depressed we are, because we are happy, like happier because we are ourselves. Like, it's truly who we are. So yeah, if someone doesn't like it, it's like, okay, well, whatever. And when someone doesn't like you for the persona that you have created, that hurts so much more, because you're like, I'm already fucking putting a performance and I'm being disliked. I don't know. And I think I want to fully lean into being myself, because I have actually never done that. I have always tried to be more digestible for other people, and I don't want to be digestible, actually. Why? I'm so unhappy when I'm digestible. It's literally fucking chokehold. I hate it. Yeah. And embracing being weird, embracing being playful. Creativity is oxygen for our souls. To allow a sense of play in our relationship to accept, to allow a sense of play in your relationship to accept standards, to ask a question why. To be an artist is to risk admitting that much of what is money, property, and prestige strikes you as just a little silly. To be an artist is acknowledge the astonishing. It is to allow the wrong piece in the room if we like it. It's to hang on to a weird code that makes us happy. It is to not keep trying to be something that we aren't. It is not to keep trying to be something that we aren't. That's beautiful. And to kill your dreams because they are responsible is to be irresponsible to yourself. Yeah, truly. Like, what? I felt so held by this chapter. I felt so good reading it, because I feel like a lot of the things that I needed to hear, especially after quitting my hours last week, was like, ugh, I needed this in order to come back and be more like honest with myself. You want to create, girl. You just want to create your shit. And that's the truth. Like, I was burning out because I wasn't creating things for myself. I was creating for others with really little pay, barely any pay, and it was making me sick, because I wasn't doing it for me. Actually, I was doing it for someone else, and I still don't regret it. You know, it taught me a lot of things, but art is supposed to be for us, because if you would already decide to have not a 9 to 5, but like basically work every day of your life, then you might as well enjoy what you do, at least a little bit, because being an artist is already hard. So yeah. And then about success being kind of relative, and people depend on me. Yeah. People depend on me, I say. All the more reasons to depend on yourself and protect your own creativity. Preach. And yeah, I don't know. I feel like anything, honestly, in this chapter for me was amazing. I mean, they highlighted so many things, so it's a little bit difficult. And also one thing that I also really loved is meditating in motion, because I have a really hard time meditating, and sometimes I have a really hard time getting out of my head. And I started doing it because for me, sitting down and meditating is like honestly really difficult, and I dread it all the time, and I do it really rarely. But to convince myself to put on shoes and leave the house is also difficult, but less hard than sitting down and meditating. And I actually realized that for me it helps a lot, because I feel like air is coming to my head, and I'm actually getting a little bit more, I don't know, resourceful and solution oriented than if I'm like meditating and sitting in my room. Like, it just helps, and I think it's super helpful to do the walking meditation. Yeah. Da-da-da. Yeah, I think it's that. And for me, like, this week was amazing. I think the more I was doing this book, the less hard it became, and also it brought me back to myself, and I feel like it's beautiful. I feel like from now on I just need to decide like how I'm gonna live my life next, but I'm happy, and I'm also extremely proud that I have made it to week 11. Never thought that I would make it that far actually, but in every way, in life, in this book, in every way, and I'm proud of myself. So I love you. We're okay, and it's gonna be all good, and keep creating for you. Thank you. Bye.